Hey, John Walsh with Core here at Cine here in New York. Happily showing off some of our new kit, and that includes our Apex line. So right here, talk about the charger just because it's quickest. It's a 5.2 amp charger with one battery on that will automatically split to two, meaning it'll simultaneously charge both batteries once you place two on at 2.5 amps. We also have our mock line of chargers that will work for the V-mount Apex. These are simultaneous chargers at 4 amps per position. So with this charger right here, our 2R, you'll get one battery. It'll be a little quicker just because you have that extra amp. And the reason you need a faster charger is this is a 360 watt hour battery. These are beasts. They will power Aputure NANLITE fixtures for hours on end. It's lithium ion battery like everything we make on camera, on board. V-mount only at this point, USBs, no LCD as you can see. So what we have done is really stripped out a lot of that cost, LCD, PTAP, other things, to really make a battery geared just for the lighting world. So this is just straight lithium ion power. We have these LEDs, I don't know if they can show up on camera, but we have 5 LEDs on either side that you can see at about 150 degree viewing angle, if you will. So our Apex 360 is V-mount only. We have these in low voltage as well as high voltage. So the model I have here is a 14.4 volt brick, 25 amps. It's good to power an LS600 from Aputure, LS600, NANLITE Forza, Gemini 1x1 hards, 2x1 hards, what have you. The other version that we have is the high voltage version. So it's a 28 volt, good to power those fixtures who want that higher voltage, which in order to operate, we have a direct connect plate that is kind of a plug and play. You just unscrew the existing V-mount off your lighting device and you can screw in our Apex direct connect plate to use with high voltage. That way, when on set, no one takes a high voltage battery and puts it on that standard voltage device, right? We don't want anything blown up. We take that safety very serious. And then for those that do need it, both models do have a 5 volt, 3 amp USB output on there. So that's it. That is our Apex line that we have. Again, low voltage and standard voltage. Here for the first time ever at the show, we are adding new batteries to our Helix Max line. What you see right here in front of you is the 360 watt hour versions, hence Helix 360 Max. We also have 275 watt hour versions. So these work very similar to our 98 and 150 watt hour versions that you're accustomed to, meaning that they're dual voltage, and it's a native dual voltage at 14 volts and native dual voltage at 28 volts, therefore helping increase the efficiency and negating any heat that might be within the circuitry itself. They have the power taps and the USB as you've been accustomed to. As you well know, they will operate traditionally as a 4 volt battery, but if you have our Helix mount or just a standard B mount from anybody, they will operate high voltage without issues. What we're pointing to here, and I'll point on the B mount, is we have a wraparound LED gauge on both sides of the unit just to see quickly what the capacity is. We've also moved the LCD display from the back of the unit. We've turned it into a backlit LED display that's on the side of the battery itself, and will give you 3 different bits of information. So it'll give you the remaining charge time when it's on a device. It'll give you the remaining runtime and sample every 3 seconds when it's on the device. So to make sure that the LED on the side gives accurate runtime information, we actually refresh that every 3 seconds to make sure, nothing new is plugged in or what have you there. Once you place the battery to charge, the LED will rotate 90 degrees, so it'll be, horizontal for better viewing. As cameras have shrunk, we at Core have outfitted our Power Base Edge series and broken into 2 different models, as you may know the original Power Base Edge. So here we have both models. We have the Link and we have the Lite. So the Lite is a stripped out cost, less expensive version, more for that budget friendly videographer. It has no V-mount on there, just the quarter 20 and same camera plate to mount underneath the camera or any quarter 20 connection really. We also give you obviously the 2 power taps and the 2 USB-A 5 volt 3 amp connections on there. I make that a point because the big difference between the link, the Edge is also a 47 watt hour. The Link is a 70 watt hour, both lithium ion. The Link has a V-mount on here, as well as the USB-C. Good for cameras, Sony A7, Canon's new R5C, etc., Blackmagic, what have you. Anything that doesn't have the USB-C connections on there, we do also have special cables to be able to mount for, again, that specific camera model. But here we have the 2 power taps, the 1 USB-A, but also the USB-C. And they're called the Link, and I don't know if I can do it with a microphone in my hand, but they link together. And now here in this spot is where the second battery would snap into place on top of it. So what's also nice about the Link model specifically is this LCD will match our Neos. So it'll give you the remaining runtime, but it'll also give you remaining charge time on there as well. And that's it. This is our PowerBase Edge Link and our PowerBase Edge Light. So with NANLITE, their original Forza line, the 300-500, this V-mount plate is needed. We call it the SGP SFF. What this allows you to do is this lip right here will interfere from a big battery being able to connect fully once a big battery is placed on here. So we have a riser, V-mount to V-mount riser plate that allows one of these bigger bricks to mount right on there. The reason we need the riser plate is these Forza sleds have a lip right here. And if the riser plate's not included, the battery itself won't be able to connect fully to the 5 V-mount pins on the bottom. Now, as NANLITE has recently released the Mark II 300 and 500, that has more of a side-by-side mounting. Therefore, no plate is needed. You can go right with the low voltage units. They'll power on, without issue. Or if you would rather go high voltage, just have our direct connect plates, slap those on there, and you'll be good to go. Much as simple as it is with Aputures. So Aputure specifically, our 14.4 volt Apex will mount right on there. Now, due to the firmware revisions within these power supply units, anytime on DC, they will dip, anytime on 14 volt DC, they will dip the output in half. So if you want to get full output, we go with the higher voltage versions, again, alongside that Apex direct connect plate. And what I'll show you, if I'll pop this off, it's very simple to put on an Apex direct connect plate. All you do is just remove the 4 V-mount squares, snip the wires, connect the wires from the power supply into our plate. It's a plug and play kind of option. And then you just screw those 4 screws right back in and you're good to go. The whole process might take 90 seconds to 2 minutes.